achieved.
What up, everybody? Welcome into Studio Day, Jeffrey Day Quarantine, where today we're going to talk about a couple of things. One, we've got the NFL Top 100 Players list that the players vote on, and we're going to talk about why players are terrible evaluators. But we're also going to hit on the Cowboys news of the day, which is that the coronavirus has impacted them for the first time, as we have a player who will be opting out of the season. Maurice Canady, the cornerback that, according to Brian Broaddus, has some fans in the building, is opting out. So how does that work? That is something that's been asked on the channel yesterday, so we'll knock that out first. So the way this works is Maurice Canady is going to receive a $150,000 stipend, and his contract is going to toll. So in other words, he will still be a Cowboy next year on the same contract that he signed. This is essentially an advance of some of that money for players who decide that they would rather not take part due to coronavirus, and he has decided that. So we wish him the absolute very best. We wish health to him and to every player, and great fortune to the entire world. I love everyone. But what I want to talk about is from a football perspective, because I think this actually works in his favor and in the Cowboys' favor. So if you watched my secondary preview for the Cowboys, I don't have it in front of me, but I'm doing this off the top of my head. Maurice Canady, who signed a one-year deal. Daryl Worley signed a one-year deal with the Cowboys. Anthony Brown was brought back. I'm not going to go through these one at a time. I'm just going to go through the guys who are going to make the team, right? Cheeto, Jordan Lewis, Anthony Brown, Trayvon Diggs, Reggie Robinson, Daryl Worley. I think that's your first six corners. Are they going to keep seven? CJ Goodwin could be seven. Played a lot of special teams for this team. Was Canady going to make the team? I don't know. But let's fast forward a year. If we fast forward a year, Jordan Lewis' contract is up. Cheeto's contract is up. Daryl Worley's contract is up. And our new cornerback room has Trayvon Diggs, Reggie Robinson, Anthony Brown, and then I don't know. So, obviously, his health of loved ones, like that is going to be the reason that players opt out or play, is however they feel about that. So I'm not making the case that that is going into the thinking of Maurice Canady, because that would be irresponsible. However, I think this works out for him and this works out for the Cowboys, where you can get some of your money, you can sit out this season, you can play it safe, and you can come back a year from now and look around at that cornerback room, and three of them are going to be gone. You got a better chance to make the team and earn every dollar that's on your contract. So that's the latest. Maurice Canady opting out for the Cowboys and what it means. Now, we move along. I don't know, you guys see the quarterback tiers thing? It depends which one you're looking at. Mike Sando did one. Is he at The Athletic now or ESPN? I think he's at The Athletic. Steve did one for Pro Football Focus. And there's also a top 100 NFL players list that's done by the players, which, boy, that people do love lists. Hall of Famer Chris Arnold will tell you that. People do love lists. I love a good list. You know what the worst thing that's happened to me professionally is? I started studying football and studying tape, and you realize how few people are actually qualified to do it. I couldn't make a top 100 list. Couldn't do it. I couldn't properly rank the 100 best players in the NFL without going and watching a bunch of tape on all of them. And the NFL players put Todd Gurley at number 51. Todd Gurley has one leg. Is that ahead of Zach Martin? I think that's ahead of Zach Martin. Zach Martin's 55. Todd Gurley's 51. They say that Todd Gurley is a better player than Tyron Smith and Zach Martin. I love Todd Gurley. He might be my favorite running back that I've ever studied. But holy cow, he's broken. He's got the knee. You don't know day to day when he wakes up if he's going to be able to. He graded one of the worst in the league last year. It's silly. It's all silly. It's all silly. And while we're here, let's criticize other people, okay? Next on my target list is Pro Football Focus. NFL quarterback rankings. All 32 starters entering the 2020 NFL season. Tier 1. This is Steve over there at Pro Football Focus. Tier 1. High-end QBs who can carry a team. Pat Mahomes. Cool. Russell Wilson. Cool. The end. Tier 2. Quarterbacks who are more likely to elevate teammates and achieve top-end production even with lesser supporting casts. Tier 2 QBs have a good chance to rank among the NFL's top 8 quarterbacks or even finish as the NFL's top signal caller in any given year. Tier 2, Lamar Jackson. Heck yeah. Deshaun Watson. Matt Ryan. Now, I know that Matt Ryan is a good quarterback. You know, if you're out there and you're a Matt Ryan hater, I'm sorry. He's good. Tom Brady. Washed. Drew Brees. Should absolutely be there. Aaron Rodgers. He could be there. Now, Tier 3. Here's my problem. These are in order, okay? In theory, this is in order because we're ranking all 32 starters. So as I go top to bottom, he doesn't have numbers on them, but it sure seems like it's in order, right? Tier 1 starts with Mahomes. Tier 2 starts with Lamar. Tier 3, volatile or conservative quarterbacks who will rely even more heavily on supporting cast and play calling. Tier 3 quarterbacks can post top 10 production in any given year in the right situation. Now, I'm not here to fight you on if that applies to Dak or not. I think we've seen at different times that it does, right? His supporting cast has helped to dictate how he performs, and that's true of most quarterbacks. Cool. So tier 3, gotcha. I'll put Dak in there, no problem. First guy in tier 3 is Cam Newton. Yeah, Cam. Foot, shoulder. Look, I love the idea of Cam in New England. I love it. I think it could be fun. I think he could be good. But what are we doing? Putting Cam Newton today ahead of Dak Prescott when Cam Newton's last couple of years, all the evidence we have is that his broken shoulder meant he couldn't throw and his broken foot meant he couldn't run. In front of Dak. What are we doing? Now here's the fun one. Remember, we're ranking all 32 starters entering the 2020 season. Joe Burrow ahead of Dak. I get it. People just want to troll me today. That's what we're doing. Every list that came out, everyone who's done anything on the internet today, you know what it is? The idea? Troll Jeffrey. Burrow's the number 1 overall pick, which means he should be good. Might even be okay right away. He's ahead of Dak. Quarterback ranking entering the 2020 season, Joe Burrow's ahead of Dak. Okay. I see what we're doing here. Ryan Tannehill, he's next. Small sample size, but Ryan Tannehill was incredible last year. He was awesome. Number 2 passing attack in the league and expected points added from the time he took over as a starter. Okay. That sample doesn't match up with the rest of his career, but I'm actually a Tannehill guy. Thought he overachieved in Miami. Bad team, bad scheme, bad everything, and he kind of played okay. He played great in Tennessee. Okay. All right. Derek Carr's next. Derek Carr is next. Ahead of Dak. Derek Carr is next, and he's ahead of Dak. Jared Goff's next. Jared Goff's next, and he's ahead of Dak. Jimmy Garoppolo is next. And he is ahead of Dak. Kirk Cousins is next. He's ahead of Dak. Then it's Dak Prescott. Right behind Kirk Cousins. Good news is then it's Matt Stafford, and then it's Carson Wentz. So I actually don't hate their list in terms of how they did their tiers. If you want to say, hey, you know, look at all these different guys, and all these guys have clearly been affected by either good supporting cast, good scheme, good coaching, that's cool. Derek Carr, Joe Burrow, Cam Newton, ahead of Dak. Yep. It's going to be that kind of day, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be that kind of day. It is a Troll Jeff day. It is a Troll Jeff day. And let me pull up Sandoz just to give you a reference in case you hadn't seen it. Was there anything else I wanted to tear up the top 100 about? Oh, yeah, Clowney's at 41. Ahead of Zach Martin. Okay. Dak Prescott's at 46. Just fine. But Dak's not better than Clowney. Okay. Tyler Lockett's not better than Jarvis Landry. David Bakhtiari's not better than Todd Gurley. The real problem is really ranking top 100 NFL players. That would be a full-time job, right? I only want the votes of like the directors of pro personnel of 32 teams. Unless you're a bad director of pro personnel, then you have to opt out. And maybe there's only like 18 qualified people on the planet to do this list. But don't let the players do it. Well, let the players do it. We're having fun, right? We're just looking at lists and we're having a good time. Let's get to Sando's list here. Just spitballing. Just wasting time. Having a time. All right. Tears alert. Where are you, Sando? Sando. Oh, I'm clicking around here. Here's the Sando. Oh, this is a survey. Sando, you are not doing a good job of getting people to navigate to your things. I got to tell you that. Did this on the air yesterday, had it all pulled up, but no, that's a survey. Why is it a survey? Here we go. 50 coaches and evaluators rank the NFL starters. Tier 1, Pat Mahomes, and Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Deshaun Watson. Tier 2, Tom Brady, Lamar Jackson, Ben Roethlisberger, Matt Stafford, Matt Ryan, Carson Wentz, Dak Prescott. I'd have Dak ahead of Brady and Wentz, but that would put him in the top 10. That's about where I got him. We're gonna be fighting about Dak. We're gonna be fighting about Dak for the next, well, maybe 12 months until they tag and trade him, or maybe forever as we see what happens. But anyway, mailbag time. The Lunatic. Great job keeping us informed about our Cowboys, Jeff. Oh, thanks, the Lunatic. Remember to mash that thumbs up button and join the 15% club. 15% of people have notifications turned on, the little bell on there, ding, to get notified when I put up a video. Last year we were 6th in scoring, averaged 27 points a game, but we're 16th in red zone scoring, ran the ball predictably in the red zone, settled for too many field goals. Will McCarthy be more aggressive and creative and allow Dak to throw more inside the red zone? I hope so. There's a great article on that recently about how Dak is pretty much dead last in the league at passing rate when they get inside the red zone. Jason Garrett loved to go, well, we're here. We don't want to give up our 3 points. We got a good chance at 3 points, guys. Let's hand it off 3 times and kick it. Whee! That was Garrett's offensive philosophy. In Dak's career, 4 years as a starter, from the 1 or 2 yard line, he has thrown 8 passes total. 7 were touchdowns. You think maybe that's a good rate? Maybe you should let him throw a couple more? I do. Yes, I think McCarthy will do that. It's Mr. Nuff to you. Says, hey, Jeff, love your work. Quick question. If the players choose to sit out this year because of the virus, does it go against the cap this year as well as their contract availability? Thanks. Well, like Maurice Canady with the Cowboys, he'll sit out. His contract will not count against your salary cap this year. You could now spend another $1 million or whatever if you'd like to on a different player. Each player, depending on, I believe, their service time, like Canady will get $150,000. No, not service time. High-risk players who opt out, I think, can get up to like $350,000 of a stipend, and then their contract just carries to next year. So Maurice Canady will still be under contract with the Cowboys next year. Cowboys Coffee Talk. Jeff, love your show. I want to challenge you on your running back argument. You don't want a piece of me today, dude. I'm being trolled left and right by these lists. Don't come at me today, man. In principle, I agree that it's not worth paying a running back. Oh, good. But there are still a handful of special players. I believe Zeke is one of those guys. Still has some gas left in the tank. His yards per attempt last season compared to Pollard is skewed due to usage in short yardage, stubbornly running in first down against the better teams, and a couple poor decisions on his part, negating what would have been long runs. Excuse me. Zeke's a power back. elite pass blocker, and I think tweaking the offense may prove he still has some explosiveness. Do you have any faith that he can prove you wrong this year? Oh, a little bit. Yeah, I think he could have a really good year. I think used properly, Zeke could get around 5 yards a carry. He's a good player, man. I don't hate on Zeke. I just hate on the idea of paying running backs, and I hate on the idea of a running back is elite because he gets the ball a lot. Like, I love San Francisco, Kansas City. They're like, no, we don't care. Like, schematically, here's what we do. Whichever undrafted free agents behind the quarterback can get the ball as long as he's good at running it. Sweet, go, wee. It doesn't matter. The question is, how many yards do I get when I hand the ball off? I don't care who gets it. I just want to get the most yards I can every time. And that's not a dig at Zeke. I like him. He's a good running back. Make more big plays. Avoid some tackles. Break some tackles. Thank you. Prove me wrong. Jeremy, why isn't anybody talking about the 2-year window to win? All recent contracts can be gotten out of after 2021 except Zeke, and even then they could, though financially it makes no sense. They wouldn't give Dak 4 years and insisted on 5. McCarthy signed on for 3 years. No NFC championship game by the 2021 playoffs. We can kiss some players and coaches goodbye. Finances, age, whatever other reasoning. A rebuild is coming after 2 more seasons, probably even if Dallas wins it all this season and next. Well, teams try to avoid that. All teams try to avoid. Well, not all teams. Some teams embrace going back to the bottom to get the high draft picks to come back to the top, but you can dodge that by great drafting. And as a Cowboy fan, you hope that they've begun that with what is universally being considered the best draft of last year. Do it again, and then do it again. And then you're not rebuilding. If Trayvon Diggs is a kick-ass corner that's picked in the 2nd round, and CeeDee Lamb is a number 1 wide receiver that you got in the middle of the 1st round, and Tyler Biadasz is a quality center, Neville Gallimore turns into a starting defensive tackle, that's how you avoid a rebuild. Kick-ass players that aren't picked in the top 5 of the draft. And you have to find a quarterback if Dak's not going to be it. But yes, there's a lot about this team that it could set up for that. Absolutely could. But the Cowboys won't do it. They won't intentionally take a step back. David Rodriguez, if the Cowboys and Dak don't agree to a long-term extension either next year or the following, what would you like for them to do at QB moving forward? Any guys you like coming out of college the Cowboys would have a realistic chance of drafting? Keep up the great work, Tolo. I don't know the players far enough ahead. But what I would want you to do is I would want you to put the non-exclusive franchise tag on Dak after this season, then flip him, hopefully get a couple of first-round picks, maneuver yourself to pick one of the top 3 quarterbacks in next year's draft class, and then keep Andy Dalton around for a year to be the veteran who hangs out and maybe starts a few games or whatever. I just don't want to move on from Dak without a plan. Everybody wants to move on. It's like, Andy Dalton will be fine. No, he won't. Stop. Chill out. Anybody will be fine. Dak's terrible. Stop. You got to have a plan. You got to have a plan. If you just get rid of your quarterback and you don't have a top 10 pick and you're going to bank on what? Hoping that free agency again offers you the choice of Marcus Mariota or Jameis Winston or Andy Dalton? Is that your plan? It's a bad plan. Peter. Hey, Jeff, I was wondering if you could talk about maybe the possibility of acquiring Jalen Ramsey from the Rams or just from free agency if they don't extend him. I know it's a pipe dream, but I would love to get him on Dallas. Love the content, and thank you for the daily videos. Ramsey wasn't as good last year as he usually is. Now, he's still a super talented player, and I'd love to have Jalen Ramsey on my team. I don't have his contract in front of me, but, yeah, sure. Always give me Jalen Ramsey. He's fun. Jeff wants to see the Nooch and Pollard start. You cut that out. You cut it out. Don't you put that on me. I mean, the Nooch doesn't make much money. Pollard averages 5.3 a carry. No, I don't. Chill out. Patrick Simons. Love the videos, Jeff. Keep it up. Maybe less of a question, but do you think the somewhat media overhype of Wentz as a great quarterback versus Dak as a good quarterback could be changed this year with the upgrade in the coaching staff? I'm a Dak guy and feel that the overhype of Wentz feels improper to Dak, who's played full seasons, dealt with much worse coaching. Would love to know your thoughts on the perception of them as QBs. I don't know which one's better. I would take Dak because through 4 years, Dak has played better football than Carson Wentz has. But if you guaranteed me health, I think I can understand people who would take Wentz. So they're both hanging out in the same spot. Somewhere between the 7th or 8th to 12th best quarterback in the league. And let's see what happens moving forward. Their surrounding casts have changed, and it's affected how they've played. Schematically, things have changed, and it's affected how they've played. So, I don't know. From the 214, Brandon Brooks for the Eagles is number 98 on the top 100 list. He allowed 1 sack the whole year. Right, yeah. NFL players can't rank the players. They can't. It's a popularity contest. Just chill out. Leave in the comments what you want to talk about tomorrow. Sorry if I kept you too long today. I just started rambling about lists. So, yeah, there's that. Make sure you're subscribed. Tell your friends, please. Please. I'll buy you a beer. Love you guys, and I'll catch you on the radio. Make sure you are subscribed. Get your notifications on. You're checking 1053thefan.com every day for content. And, yeah, leave in the comments what you want to talk about tomorrow. And your favorite sports logo. What's your favorite logo? You can see that star on my hat, but what's your favorite? That's what I'm doing today. What's your favorite insect? What's your least favorite thing to get bit by? All those things. Anybody still watching here at 21:15 into the video? I guess I'll find out in the comments.